to you by Grow Generation. Today's episode of the Cantina is, whether on Dagobah or Tatooine you are, everything you need to grow right where you are, they have. Later in the episode, more on them you will hear.
Welcome to a galaxy far, far away. Here at the Cantina Podcast, we provide top shelf service, including rumors, leaks, news, and reviews. Come in, order a Loman Ale, and remember, no droids allowed. Welcome, guys, to the Cantina, LRM's Genreverse Podcast Network Star Wars show, the one where we talk the most Star Wars. David Cog every now and then, breaking geek every now and then. Us. This is what we do. We say here, drink unhealthy beverages, age appropriate, and then discuss Star Wars news. You guys heard all the ad sponsors stuff and the funny voices at the beginning, but what you didn't hear is, all of our social media information at the Genreverse and at LRM underscore on Twitter. Cam and I have our information down below as well. Please subscribe to the LRM online YouTube channel, and of course the Genreverse Podcast Network wherever you get your podcasts from. And I'm Kyle. That's Cam, and Star Wars. It's been a couple of weeks, man. How's it been going?
Good. Yeah, everything's been good. Not been a lot of Star Wars news specifically, though, unless you count promotion for the Book of Boba Fett, which, of course, they've been promoting out their asses, but that's to be expected.
It's kind of funny because I was saying, it's been a while since we had an episode, 2 weeks, but there hasn't really been a lot to talk about, and I kind of wondered if that's related to kind of the rough PR that they had, Disney, they being Disney and Lucasfilm, going into after Disney Plus Day, things with the Galactic Star Cruiser. They dropped the Eclipse trailer, which we'll talk about that, but even that wasn't without some controversy, and other than dropping recut versions of the same footage every 6 days or something like that we haven't had a whole bunch. What do you think, man? They just kind of...
It's kind of very telling in terms of they've told us they're only really showing us the first half of the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett in any of the trailers, so it means when we get new spots, they really are just the same thing. I guess we're also in a period where all they want to promote is the Book of Boba Fett. They don't want eyes on anything else at the moment. Certainly not the stuff that they had to pull for Galactic Star Cruiser. So they want eyes on Boba Fett. So they've kind of went completely dark and then did a million interviews for the Book of Boba Fett in that kind of period of time to heavily promote it, which, totally understand. But if I see another spot for Boba Fett with exactly the same footage in it, I think I'm going to go insane at this point because there is nothing else to show us. We just need to wait till Wednesday.
Yeah, so don't even bother putting anything out because, like you said, there's no real reason to.
If you weren't going to watch it, you ain't going to watch it because of some new spot now. And to be fair, people are going to watch it because people are excited for it. So
yeah, It's
now down to how good it is.
Yeah, it's been I've been excited for it, and I guess you could say it's been a while since Mando season 2, basically, since I was excited for something new, Star Wars content wise. But it is, man. It's like, hey, we had a really rough time, guys. Shut up. Book of Boba Fett. Like we know it's gonna hit hard. Everyone keep your mouths shut. Don't say anything. Don't promote anything. Don't talk anything. Just book of Boba Fett. And I think it's a smart decision. And you had kind of talked a few weeks ago when we were saying, will we get any other additional teases leading up? And you reminded me they didn't do that for Mando, so why would they do that for this? And that's exactly what they've done.
They don't
keep it to a minimum.
They've given enough. They've whet the appetite, and which must commend them on. I've talked about this a couple of times recently. Marvel are usually pretty good with this as well, but they kind of tend to not spoil the stuff in the trailers, you know. I think,
Sony.
Sony are pretty bad for it. Like, it's like No Way Home felt like in between, you know. It felt like almost Sony, but not quite. It's like when you look at the difference between Morbius and, let's say, the Book of Boba Fett, and Morbius looks okay, I have to say, right? But
it looks like a solid movie, not necessarily what I need.
You get the general gist of the start right through where that movie's going, maybe other than whoever the antagonist is. And I was watching, when I went to see No Way Home, there was some film called Moonfall on I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that yet. Anyway, this film looks tragic, so the good thing is all you have to do is watch the trailer, because it starts at the start of the movie and goes basically in chronological order and shows you events that happen. So you just don't need to watch it. The only thing it doesn't show you is kind of how they win at the end. And you don't care by that point because it looks absolutely ghastly. So, you know, I just don't like that level of sort of exposure on trailers. So I like that. Yeah, we're only showing you you know, in Mando they only show this stuff and very brief stuff from the first 4 episodes. I mean, we didn't know Boba Fett was in it, anything like that, and this they're only showing us really stuff from that first episode. I think I know why they're doing that, as some of the reasons why they're doing that as well, because I think there is going to be some surprises in that opening episode. Maybe.
Get Bane.
Maybe. I mean,
well, we did talk about that a while ago. So
I'm confident he's in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Because we broke that story, so you know I'm 100% that Cad Bane's in it. I couldn't have said for certain where he would have showed up though, but I think perhaps he does show up towards at some point in episode 1, even as early as that, possibly. Yeah,
ooh, that'd be crazy. I mean,
could be wrong.
He's got a lot of history with the character. So I could see where him coming in the first episode, like maybe towards the tail end, like not a stinger in the after credits sense, but you know, right at the tail end, I could see something like that. That if I don't know. It's always weird to me coming in from the outside, because I'm not a big, you know, Rebels or Clone Wars fan, so I'm always kind of curious as to what others like myself's reaction will be, and whether or not it's how it's going to hit, you know, because for some people, when they see him in live action, it's going to be a big deal. For me, it's just kind of like, told you. But it's not going to... Is he a big enough deal that he could be a cool big character. Part of this show? I think that's the thing, though. He's just a very well-designed and cool character. He's basically like a droll cowboy, you know, but he's... what kind of alien is he again? Is he in the He's a Duros.
A Duros, right. Okay. You know, so it's like an alien, but it's a very, you know, familiar character from, you know, something from the old spaghetti westerns or something like that. He's that kind of style, toothpick in the mouth, you know, southern drawl, and just there's something appealing about him. Even in the early Clone Wars, when I wasn't particularly a fan, I could say, he's a cool character. Right away, you could see that. So I think that in itself will probably sell itself. But how much is in it, I don't know. But I have, well, let's say there's a couple of things that we've known before that we've not been able to publish. I'm not going to mention what they are or anything, but I did see one of these just plot dumps that you get all the time on the internet the other week there. So I had a read, and you know, most of these things you just go fan fiction, right? But there was a couple of points which we've heard that nobody else has heard that were kind of in this, and it made me think twice and wonder whether it really was possibly the plot. Certainly couldn't say for certain whether it was or not, but I think it may stop me when we start covering it, from at least for the first episode into second episode, from speculating too much. Obviously, if after that it's going a different way, we can say, right, it was just pure fan fiction, and kind of move on. I don't know, I've just got a funny feeling about it, and there's something. There's potential surprises if that plot leak is true for episode 1, whether it is or not. I mean, I'm not going to say it. It's far more information than we ever heard. Far more information than we ever heard. But it is what it is. We'll see. I've just got a funny feeling, and usually when I've got a funny feeling about these things, it ends up being right. So we'll see.
It's kind of like me when I think something's going to go down a dark path, or a path that I don't like. I don't mean dark as in like gloomy, like something like no, don't do it. They end up doing it. Now, however, the actual execution, because it's like no way home. Even before some of the earliest leaks started confirming things. There was things I was just like, man. If they go this way, I'm not going to like it.
I was like, this is going to be too stuffed. It's not the story I want for the third Peter Parker film, and it was actually a good
landed
film.
It. Yeah. So it's just like Boba Fett. Yeah. Just like Boba Fett.
You know what I was thinking, actually?
Go ahead.
Sorry, it bought in, but the other day there, that I was doing they did a promo for it. Hey, Return of a Legend, right? I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's just what you think. Yeah, we're coming back. It's going to be great. Hey, everybody, watch the TV series from everybody involved. But I was watching that, and it was going, Return of a Legend. I was thinking, see if he had never been in Mando season 2, and this was just the Return of Boba Fett. We had never seen him come back in Mando season 2. You and I would be in a very different headspace right now. We'd be going, why are they doing this? We don't need a Boba Fett show. We'd be sitting there going, what's good about Boba Fett, all that sort of stuff. But because they introduced it in Mando season 2, and we both went, we like this Boba Fett, we're now excited for the series. So it just shows you that the plan worked, basically.
Anyway. You're right, and that's kind of. I don't remember if this was my point. Yeah, it was kind of my point. You and I were it wasn't. This is something I thought of while you were talking. You and I both were not, big Fett fans. You and I were like, sure he looks cool, but he's got a couple of lines through two movies, and his whole thing ends up being a silly butt of the joke death, air quote death in Return of the Jedi, and all the people that loved him. It's like, did you read the EU? No. Okay, then why do you love this character? He looks okay. Yeah, got it, but it's not that great of a character.
Right?
And, but the
Mandalorian armor is iconic.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and him in the Mandalorian was phenomenal. It's great. We liked it. I again wasn't necessarily happy with the kind of anti-hero angle, but you and I have both mentioned how we're big fans of organized crime movies, gangster stuff, and that we could kind of see how you could do this. I wish they'd do more payback than what they're doing.
Well, within a PG-13 because you can't quite go full payback.
Right. I meant as much as we should only be rooting for Fett because he's the legit lesser of two or more evils. That in the sense of payback, because Porter's still a bad guy. You're only rooting for Porter because he's less bad than the others.
He begins to have one or two redeeming features, a bit of growth
takes care of the girl
along as well.
And the dog.
So I could see Boba Fett having some sort of a connection, whether it's with Fennec Shand herself, or I mean, with I don't know. We haven't explored their relationship too much. How that kind of all works between them. I know I don't mean sexual. I mean, it seems purely platonic. But whether there's going to be other characters, new characters that we haven't seen yet, that will come in that Boba Fett will develop some kind of attachment to. I mean, that's possible as well. So we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I don't want him to be a good guy. I don't want to be, hey, Boba Fett's the hero. He saved us all. No, that's not quite the character, I don't think, for me.
And I don't think we're going to get that outright right, but I do think it's going to be too close for my comfort. And again, it'll depend on execution. Execution could still be great. I've said the most brilliant story can be executed poorly. And I will hate that more than a shit story executed well. Because at least when it's executed well, it can be enjoyable. Whether it's a visual spectacle, an audio spectacle, whatever the case may be.
Well, it's like some writers would say, like, a really good writer can make an average idea a great story. But a bad writer will take a great idea and make a rubbish story out of it. And yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. It is going to be in how it hits and how it's executed. I think there's also potential for him, given what he's going through, to be, if they explain, if he's, why is he doing this? Why is he just left what's his motivations for doing this now instead of what he was doing before? I certainly hope we get into some of that, and maybe with the confirmed now flashbacks, we will all kind of get that. Throughout the show as well, hopefully.
Yeah. I know there's another kind of rumor that came out a couple weeks ago, but we'll talk about it on the other side of this word from our sponsors, Grow Generations. Take it away, guys.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation offers the best deals and discounts on the best grow products on the market. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
And thank you, Grow Generation, for sponsoring the episode. So another rumor that had happened was Grogu coming back. Now you and I were quick to jump on the we should be done with Grogu for a minute.
Yeah.
Type of train. You and I were like, hey, he had his time, did his bit. Let's carry on. That isn't happening. Maybe, allegedly.
Well,
why don't you talk a little bit about what Star Wars Newsnet had to say on that?
It was Star Wars Newsnet, and they said, we've heard from credible source that Grogu was spotted in some crew merchandise used for the Book of Boba Fett. Now, that's hardly confirmation to me that Grogu is in the show. I know there is things that appear on crew merchandise that can sometimes give the game away, but not always. Saw a bit of crew merchandise today which had something on it saying Tales of the Jedi. I sent you that.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is. You've never heard. I mean, we have no, other than an old comic that existed years ago in the old Legends, there's no kind of relevance to that in any rumours. So is that something, or is it not? I guess we'll find out in good time. Anyway, this crew merchandise is usually produced in small quantities and meant for special people involved with the project. On rare occasions, there's merch produced in even smaller quantities. We believe the Grogu merch was one of them, so it was something slightly rarer. But, I mean, what if it was somebody that worked on Mando and Boba Fett, so they gave them something to commemorate both of them? I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just playing devil's advocate. We've heard nothing about this, so I'm not trying to poo-poo on this at all. Knowing that there's official Grogu merch from the Book of Boba Fett, we've reached out to sources trying to find out if we can expect to see the little green fella in the series, and we've received confirmation that indeed we will get a glimpse of Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett. It's the kind of word in there, a glimpse of Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett. One of the things I thought of when I wrote this was it could be since we're getting flashbacks to Boba, it could be something from the end of the shows, you know, the end of Mando season 2 in some way. After that, though, Jordan Mason, who we know's got good sources because often hears similar things to us, he kind of replied to that and said, who he's hanging with is pretty cool too, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, you would obviously maybe jump to Luke or something like that. Would he be in it? I've got a funny feeling that might not be the case. There's actually a weird rumour I heard ages ago, totally unverified, right? That Lando showed up at some point, which would be, you know, I've not heard anything about Donald Glover being involved. So I kind of just dismissed that as it's one of those things. If somebody leaked that early, you know, fair play to them, you know, but you've no reason to say, yeah, that's true. I've heard Lando's going to be in it. So I'm not saying that. It's just a possibility. We know Lando was working with Luke post Return of the Jedi. They've established that now in the new canon. So I'm just putting it out there as an outside possibility. But again, all we can say is we've heard nothing about Grogu. And I should point out, see that plot dump that I was talking about, Grogu was never mentioned in that. But then if it was just a brief glimpse, you know, of him,
cameo,
would that really be part of the plot? It might not be something that would be picked up in that. So again, it's all just pure speculation. I think at this point, there's nothing to really hang your hat on.
Yeah, I would say the idea of Lando, Donald Glover's in particular is interesting because, well, you could age him up to look more like Lando from Return of the Jedi, but it kind of makes sense given that his show was announced, but nothing happened so far. We know that the Boba Fett is going after the underworld, and Lando's got connections with that, and I could see how you could draw that conclusion easily. I don't know if I would like it, like in a spaceport, like he's got a tail of other Jedi potentials heading to a ship, and he's got Grogu in his all right, kids, get on the bus, like. Yeah,
I've heard a few rumors about other solo connections possibly in going into this Mandoverse as well, but I don't know. It's hard to say, you know. 100% solid stuff, you know. We know that Cad Bane's in it. I know for a fact Bosk's in it.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody else reported that there was a Wookiee in it. Pretty sure it's Black Cranston that's in it. And after that, everything else is a bit more vague, and I wouldn't hang my hat on anything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to speculate though.
Yeah.
Last Mandalorian season 2, you and I and the site itself were on a roll, man. It was looking good for us between information and
whenever
then guessing.
Guessed Luke, though. Whenever guessed
Nope, not in a million,
that one.
not in a million years.
But
I even remember watching that.
It was a bit out there, you know, and
oh yeah,
nobody expected it.
I remember watching that scene unfold, and I'm like, "There's no." Oh my god, they did it. Anyways, yeah, I guess we can continue on. I don't have anything else to say with that, and talk about that Ahsoka character we had heard about. Sakhno. What was the Ivanna Sakhno?
Oh yeah.
She's gonna be a character in the Ahsoka named Astrid. I'm guessing the Illuminati.
This is from the Illuminati. Yep.
The Illuminati had this to say. We here at the Illuminati have been doing some digging and have managed
managed to find new details that shed light on Sakhno's character. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. According to our sources, Ivanna Sakhno will be playing a character named Astrid, who is described as striking and ferocious, a formidable mercenary who must now decide between two paths. Astrid can either follow the path of her unit, which is an interesting word to just kind of have there because they don't mention military or anything like that, or take hold of her own aspiration in service of her own glory. I'm thinking a Mandalorian. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm not sure I'm thinking about anything so far. This reads to me like a casting call. The way that's written is like, here's a background of that character. And, you know, the Illuminati is a good site. It gets a lot of information, but it's that kind of information they get. Casting calls with, you know, they're looking for 6 actors to play, you know, giant snowmen in the next, you know, whatever. And then maybe getting a bit more information about what's out there for the casting calls for that character. The problem you've always got with a show like Star Wars is that sometimes what they put out for the casting calls isn't really, it's just to give them, you know, an idea for a completely different character, but to give them an idea of what they kind of want them to do. So it's hard to say, but we think a brand new character that, you know, that's never been in Star Wars before. Who knows? You know, the possibilities are endless. It could be a Mando, it could be an ex-Imperial, somebody connected to the First Order.
It's that
unit.
word unit that kind of had me going. It kind of had me, you know, questioning. Could it be
something to do
more?
with Thrawn and his?
Now that's true. It could be a like a Thrawn unit, like an Imperial unit or Chiss unit of sorts. Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. I wouldn't be against it either, so to speak. I don't know. I mean, well, we'll see. It's an original character, which
it's an original character,
always happy for you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm down, man. I'm excited. Yeah. I hope it's all good. I have some serious reservations about Ahsoka simply because of the world between worlds, like that shit scares me. And I know some people are kind of excited about the prospect. And sorry, I'm trying to edit. I just had to shrink a logo for Nick for Marvel Multiverse Mayhem, which is hopefully going to go up the night I'm recording this, but we'll see, because I got to record that and then edit it. And anyways, where was I going? So yeah, the world between worlds. I know a lot of people are kind of excited and happy, but guys, time travel breaks universes. I mean, Marvel still hasn't really definitively separated time, universes, and dimensions appropriately. If you've seen No Way Home,
which they kind of never did in the comics either, but then it's a looser thing, Marvel.
Right.
You give it more leeway.
Exactly. But it's kind of funny to see people keep looking for the Loki style breakdown, and it hasn't happened anywhere yet. But yeah, it's dangerous and scary. But both on the idea of say Cam and I getting some canon changes that we would potentially like. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, because what happens when there's voices louder than Cam and I, you know, that want something that we don't like again. You know, it's getting what you want is not always a good thing when it leaves the door open for someone else to also get what they want. And we don't know anything, of course, and I would hope Disney wouldn't plan on any big changes that way, but that was a big enough change in and of itself with what they did with Ahsoka, with that world between worlds that already opened adore. You know, that I'm staring at it like the boogeyman's behind it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the symbols on the logo, couple of very small details of her. The fact, like, we know for a fact Hayden's back for it, you know. I don't know.
Getting worried.
It scares me, Kyle. It scares me. But at the same time, I want to see that story pan out. I'm just kind of worried about it, and we'll see what happens.
There's one potential that I could see. Her and him getting that closure that you're talking about, to see the story more wrap up, and then for them both to get returned to that place and returned to their proper place and time somehow. You know what I'm saying? Is there a way to unparadox and close the loop? Maybe could you get closure that way, and then Captain America?
The only way that would be Ahsoka going back and letting Vader kill her. You know, which I don't see what good that would do anyone. You know, it's not going to. It's not as if everything
really
went
that
bad
scared.
and they need to fix it. So, but what my hope always for Hayden coming back was that he appeared to Ahsoka as a Force ghost and just speaks to her and kind of says, you know, it was on me, not you, and you know, kind of just lift some of that guilt she's been carrying about and lets her know that he did destroy the Sith in the end, and he did find balance, and he came back, even if it was only at the very last kind of minute. And I think that would give her some peace to move on with her own journey in some way. But whether that will happen or not, I mean, I've absolutely no idea. So
yeah, like I said, everyone, getting what you want. Look, we all kind of got what we wanted out of a new Star Wars movie on the surface, from The Force Awakens. Look where that led us. and it's started a trend in Hollywood that is just, oof, man, we're going to be paying for that for a while.
I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home was kind of like just doing it well, but
yes,
being on the fence, you know. Whereas it seems, I've not seen it yet, but you see it as Ghostbusters is like well over the fence and in the back garden, you know, which I think Force Awakens was in some ways. Yeah,
and not only that, but just Afterlife doesn't do anything with its nostalgia. Like I said, they literally have a character that you know is supposed to be smart, put a fire pole in a farmhouse for their secret lab, and you're just like, that's only because you took the story out of the firehouse and you said, we're Sony, we don't have any faith in our audience. Put a fire pole in the outhouse. It's not the outhouse, but it's a shack where the lab is. What sense is that? You got to carry all that equipment down there? What the fuck?
I mean, that was my issues with The Force Awakens as well, you know. Oh, it's not a Death Star. It's bigger than a Death Star. And it's called
Star Killer.
You know, Star Killer Base, which is a name they've totally ripped for the whole kind of canon background and origins bit. And it can destroy 3 planets at first. We won't explain to you anything about these planets.
Nope.
Before we destroy them.
Contain the power of the sun in the palm of its core.
Yeah. And, you know, it almost happens that, you know, it was just too much A New Hope. And you kind of forgave them at first because you thought, okay, maybe they had to just get people back in the theatres. Now they need to do some, and it just
down.
The rest is history.
Yep. Thank you, Newfound Glory, for the wonderful timed lyrics. I guess we could get off our not really like anti-nostalgia high horse, but our limited and properly used nostalgia high horse, and talk about something. Actually, let me transition that over. I'm going to shrink down this screen just in case they're done with this trailer. Star Wars Eclipse, man, a actual High Republic video game. A very, very strange trailer was released. It included some ridiculous drumming stuff ridiculous in my mind, drumming stuff going on. And it's all cinematic, no real story, but holy shit, why did the Neimoidians have the same ship for over 100 years if this is tail end of the High Republic, why is there someone built...
It was the shit, but by the time we see it in the Phantom Menace, it's kind of... Because there's been less military conflict or something like that, because you see all the military stuff just ramp up as the Clone Wars hits, because the Republic's is so much... And the Separatists have got so much better than the...
But the exact same... Come on, man. Look at the vast difference between the Clone Wars and the original trilogy. Yeah, and then Yoda is seen the protocol droid reminiscent of a unskinned 3PO like Naboo, like literally it's just, hey guy, this is prequel trilogy. Yeah, prequel trilogy. Member berries, I think they're called on the interwebs.
Member berries. But there is some stuff that's kind of new and interesting that we haven't seen before. But I'm just not sure what we're going to get from this, because the kind of games that it's Quantic Dream, isn't it, that make this
Quantic Dream, which has got controversy. We're just discussing the game. We're not here for the background because regardless of what one person says, there's a whole group of people working on this. So
just in terms of the pure games, what I've heard, I haven't played any of them, but what I've heard is they're basically walking simulators, so they're interactive movies that you have. You speak to people, you make choices, but you don't actually fight people or play the game. It's all quick time and everything like that. There's no kind of
kind of like Telltale games used to be.
I mean, again, just what I've heard from other people, that's what I'm saying. And some comments that, I've seen on the videos, and on various websites, talking about the trailer when it was releasing. Quantic Dream, this is going to be like this. If a game looked this good, but it was like this, it would be so much better. However, it does kind of, in the official kind of thing that comes out, it calls it action adventure RPG, which is not how you would classify their other games, really. So maybe this is a shift for them in some way. I mean, I don't know. We'll see when we see more, but there's no gameplay footage or anything, so I'm not going to get excited about what somebody knocked up over a few weeks on their computer, because that's all that is.
That's all
a fan could do that if you gave them enough time and resources. Once I'll get excited when there's something to get excited about. Put it that way.
I agree. I'm always down for a fun game, even if it's not set in a time period that I care about. I just want something innovative, like we've had the last several Star Wars non Battlefront games have been, the Jedi Fallen Order, and then going back to Force Unleashed 1 and 2, like very, very similar third-person action adventure games.
Was that Rogue Squadron game? But
Squadrons.
Yeah, Squadrons. That was it.
Yeah, that's just the flight part of Battlefront, though, on its own.
Yeah, it was
that's it. It was terrible.
A bit limited. I found that a bit limited.
I really wanted X-Wing versus TIE Fighter back, but hey, whatever. But I want something a little bit more innovative. So I'm not quite sure what it'll be, because you had the Knights games, Coder, and the Old Republic, I guess you could call.
Well, we know that's getting remade, so maybe that'll be your thing.
So it's kind of like, I hope it's something unique, because Jedi Fallen Order was just Force Unleashed with what's that mech game? It was real big. It had a single player mode, only the first one, and then the second one, Titanfall. Yeah, that's what Jedi Fallen Order is. It's
and a little
Force
bit of
Awakens
Dark
with
Souls
Titanfall
in
mechanics.
terms of how you need to fight the bosses and learn certain strategies and stuff like that.
But yeah, so I'm looking for something hopefully a little unique, or at least a good spin on something that's been done before. Like it's got to be perfectly executed. Classic mechanics or whatever. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop chit-chatting about that. Tell you to check out our website, lrmonline.com, every day for all of your entertainment news, needs and opinions. Please also check out the Genreverse.com, because eventually here in the near future our podcast will be going up there as well, and you guys will be able to kind of enjoy more separate content and not be bogged down with your non geeky stuff and your geeky stuff. I don't know how to put it. Check it out. The Genreverse Podcast Network is wherever you get your podcast from. Spotify, Apple, Google, the Daily Cup of Genre, Dragon Reviewed, Anime Versal Reviews, Breaking Geek, Cantina, and Marvel Multiverse Mayhem. All of that also goes over to the YouTube channel, LRM's YouTube channel, where you can also get all of our interviews, celebrity interviews, Zoom, red carpet. Gig was out on the red carpet. Nancy was out on the carpet not too long ago as well. Spanish language exclusives. Manny getting lots of great things as well. Check it all out. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Yeah. Cam, you got anything else to say?
No, you covered it all.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. May the Force be with you.